Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell if you love to watch more cheating stories. If you want to know how to get back your ex-girlfriend and boyfriend, click the link below.
Has anyone seen a link in between your SO's pals cheating on their companions prior to you uncovered your SO was cheating? Basically asking if the "you or who you hang out with" motto holds any type of weight. I am 25, and also my GF, F25, have been dating for 5 years. I wish to begin by saying she has never ever given me a genuine factor not to trust her, as well as we have actually constantly been extremely open with each other. I lately got some info through a good friend that has made me a little bit nervous and also wanted some responses if my worry was valid. My GF has a group of girls, 8 or 9, that she is close friends with from college, and also they plan trips every so often so they can all see each other. I don't recognize any one of them actually well yet. Out of those ladies I understand for sure 5 of them and also possibly a 6th are done in partnerships, including my GF. She has actually told me prior to that individuals will certainly constantly try to speak to them, and in some cases she stated her single, foreshadowing, buddies will certainly talk to somebody. This led to her discussing exactly how this suggested the various other ladies would wind up getting stuck talking with the individual's buddies that her single, can you see where this is going? Close friend was hooking up with. She made it feel like it was a huge inconvenience and all her pals would be irritated concerning it. So they simply came back from the journey, as well as I heard the very same tale that I do whenever she gets back from above. I simply figured out yesterday that of her buddy's boyfriends discovered that his GF cheated on him throughout this trip. He browsed her phone as well as located texts of her talking in a group conversation with all of these girls about the individual she was hooking up with, and also her claiming she was losing track of the number of men she kissed at the bar, etc. I do not know him well, but from what I hear he's a hero, and also they have been cohabiting and also dating for several years. I saw the messages through a mutual friend and also it honestly made me unwell. A few of these various other women who are even in partnerships were encouraging it, as well as one even said she's so happy. Proud of what? Then when the lady that was figured out stated she got caught by her boyfriend browsing her phone, that means they completely transformed everything around on him. What a psycho for looking through your phone. He need to have some real issues. You not did anything incorrect, you simply kissed a few individuals high and also obtained some numbers. I was dying laughing after checking out that last one. Not in a funny means, but that this woman is saying that and also in fact believes it is okay to do that in a partnership, she is in one. After that, in an effort I guess to reduce the gravity of what she did, she started informing this man all things her buddies have done to their guys. Points along the lines of, all I did was construct out with this individual at bench this one time, on the last ski trip. Insert girl with partner's name, made love with 2 different people. Points like that. She called 2 other women, not my GF, as having made love with other people while they were dating their partners over the last few years, as well as basically stated all the women flirt with people at benches, and also groups of people constantly come back to their Airbnbs. News to me. I have not challenged my GF on any of this information, and she has actually not supplied it to me either. She is just experiencing company as usual, which is a bit terrifying to me, taking into consideration the situation unraveling in her close friend's relationship. My GF was not called in any of this, and also I really did not see any kind of messages from her that were incriminating. That being claimed, realistically, how likely is it that out of all these girls that seem to actively encourage each other to do stuff such as this, my GF is the just one that was never affected? I feel cheaters just hang out with other cheaters as a method to aid justify their actions with a well everybody is doing it technique. I understand she possibly really did not wish to tell me things to not make her good friends look bad, but that is a massive red flag for me. I intend to face my GF, however not precisely certain how to without straight out charging her of dishonesty on me. Was thinking about trying to word it in such a way that makes it feel like I already know whatever, as well as make her confess if she did anything? Not actually certain what the very best technique is, and any guidance on exactly how to navigate this would be valued. Here are the very best comments, advices that I gathered for this fantastic tale. I would certainly reveal her this blog post, and also use it as a jumping point for talking about several of the items discussed below. Your instinct is correct. Even if GF is clean as a whistle on this subject, it shows up that her GFs are mosting likely to be a bad influence, and also not an advocate for your connection. Especially if they don't understand soft limits within a fully committed relationship, or have any type of regard for borders that specific pairs may be trying to abide by. There was an article below not as well long ago about a GF group where ultimately every single one of them cheated and also divorced, a group of 6 or 7 friends. They basically all encouraged each other to cheat. The last one, who was gladly married, was always being tested by the remainder of the women to have a good time, as well as eventually she did. They were jealous of her happy relationship, and teamed up to threaten it. She ended up hating those close friends due to their role in her unfaithful, and also she damaged call. Regrettable she didn't do that prior to her marriage was destroyed. Provided what you now understand. Another concern may be your GF's personality. Exactly how does she really feel about herself? Hanging with cheaters? Does she not have a moral compass that tells her this is a trouble? Does she understand the damage dishonesty triggers, that cheating can affect the betrayed, for life? What does it claim regarding her, when she understands about this bad actions but doesn't prevent it as well as enables the partners to be deceived? I'm forced to wonder exactly how she would certainly feel if you were hanging with a lot of men that are cheaters, as well as traveling with them while they cheat. At any rate, she is not promoting a secure as well as safe setting to establish a healthy and balanced long-term relationship, but instead including insecurities to the relationship, which is specifically opposite of what she ought to be doing. Maybe it isn't a depend on concern as much as it is a maturation issue, and about being a risk-free companion who makes good choices, with favorable influences from friends who are additionally buddies of your connection. For instance, it is not nearly choosing not to kiss a handsome guy after consuming way too much, however rather not putting herself because scenario to begin with, particularly with friends who could be motivating such damaging habits. Review this with your GF. Ask her where her boundaries are, and also what she considers her dishonesty close friends. People in major relationships do not go on journeys like you explained. Seems like none of these women, GF included, have matured. These are the actions of college young adults. You need to adjust a trust fund yet confirm attitude for life. Do not depend on anyone blindly. You're being a little bit blind now, although you're beginning to see. Rest your GF down. Talk with her truthfully concerning whatever. This includes this post, and ask her to see her phone right then and there. You're not charging her of anything, you're just verifying everything she said holds true. Specifically considering that it seems like the overwhelming bulk of her friends sleep around as well as flirt on these journeys as well as everybody exists regarding it including your GF. Discuss exactly how poisonous these friends are and also if the roles were reversed she would be losing her mind. If she tries to gaslight, lie, and so on. You have your answer, especially if she does not turn over her phone right there and after that. Your GF simply might have been smarter concerning the dishonesty, and also concealed it from her pals much better. All the best, however you definitely need to challenge this ASAP. Don't ever before think it cannot be your girl, if you think that it most likely is your woman. I'm Major, show her this blog post. She could lastly recognize how incorrect she was also recognizing women like that reason they are revolting people. She's a product of individuals she surrounds herself with. If she selects to surround herself with individuals that make poor choices, then she's more likely to make an inadequate selection herself since she borders herself with people that normalize the actions. Begin. Even if your GF had not been discussed by name doesn't mean anything. The girls utilize their get-togethers as a front to be wild and fuck around. Bad habits reproduce even more poor points. I imply you can think what you want, that your GF is the only one that is innocent and would certainly never ever do anything. She truly just takes place those trips to fulfill her pals while those pals fuck about as well as rip off. Either way what she did or otherwise did, she supports what her good friends are doing. Do you desire that sort of individual in your life? She's covering for her unfaithful good friends, her dishonesty close friends would certainly cover for her. Before you confront your GF you need to comprise your mind what you desire. Don't do it if you just wish to fish for a reaction or information. Be planned for what comes next, or you will certainly wind up being frustrated as well as cured dismissively or perhaps existed to. Does your GF understand that you recognize any of this? While I would not intend to assume your GF always cheated, you recognize for certain that her buddies will motivate her to help her cover it up, and help her warrant it to herself as typical. How independent is your GF generally? Does she commonly cave to peer pressure? If she doesn't know you saw the messages, she most definitely saw them. Start by simply bringing it up as something you spoke with a mutual friend. Do not let on how much you understand as well as see exactly how straightforward she's willing to be. If you capture her in a lie, don't call her out on it, simply allow her know you listen to different. If you aren't getting anywhere, drip out a little info, likewise that you learned through a buddy, and also see if that relocates the discussion onward. If you accuse her directly of anything, with no proof, the discussion won't be effective and will certainly degrade right into a fight. You virtually have to consider it like your GF knows everything, however had not been in fact there. Perhaps ask her what she believes the BF needs to do. This might give you some understanding right into how she in fact checks out disloyalty. Your partner and also her entire good friend group are bad news. It's a significant warning that nobody is being faithful or at least preventing the unfaithful. Not exactly sure what do concerning your GF yet. It's very likely she has actually hooked up on one of these trips. At the very least she does not see an issue with cheating as she is still friends with these women, as well as not being fully sincere with you regarding what takes place during these trips. And also yeah, it's hilarious when scummy people imitate browsing your partner's phone as any kind of inappropriate. First, her good friends are hazardous as well as obtaining more so. Time for brand new pals. Second, this is not a conflict with your GF. It is a conversation that needs to take place. There requires to be a conversation about limits as well as these ladies' weekend breakout. Suggest your GF you have some details on what has actually occurred throughout these weekend breaks. Do not tell her where you got the details. Then ask if she would love to talk about the behavior you have actually heard about. Allow your GF beginning doing the talking. It's always fantastic to me how cheaters will certainly inform you it had not been a big deal. So if it's not a big deal, why are you slipping around? If it's not a big deal, how did it derail our relationship when I learnt? I don't recognize individuals running the risk of all they have for a silly affair. And also if you are so unhappy, go to therapy or separate from your partnership prior to you wander off. The betrayal is the most awful as well as it marks you for future partnerships. You never obtain that depend on back. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you believe. Do not fail to remember to subscribe as well as strike the alert bell. Remain tuned for much more cheating stories.